How you doing? What's going on? Patricia Landon Regalia, aka Chief Little Flower, coming at you from the great United States of America. So, I've been doing a lot of soul searching. That's kind of what I do. Which is incidentally how I healed and how I ascended and how I have survived all of this gang stalking. So I was thinking about the ethers. And so if you don't know what the ethers is, it's okay, because I didn't quite understand it either. I'll start off with the story. So whenever I was in Washington working at Tulalip Casino, yeah, man, I'm telling you, these fuckwads are the goddamn gang stalkers with their stupid ass psychotic street theater. They're too lazy to actually earn coin the upright way, that they actually run their dick into the ground by foregoing their own ethics, with doing their gaslighting and their psychotic street theater, blah blah blah, whatever, right? And another thing they do is they set up their targets by having people, unethical people. They ain't got no goddamn sense of integrity because they hold it out and they allow themselves to earn blood coin off of being a fucking jerk. So what happened there was while I was working at the casino, man, I tell you what, I was so happy working at the casino whenever I was slinging cocktails, because, man, since I had decided not to renew my paramedic license to avoid the crabs in the bucket from bearing false witness on my license, I was like, okay, what can I do now? I ended up working at a casino, and it really satisfied my nurturing aspect, because I'm a nurturer, and I'm a party girl in the sense that I love to I love parties, and I'm not talking about partying with like illicit substances. I'm talking about my kind of party would be around a bonfire with a bunch of drummers and a bunch of belly dancers and a bunch of fire spinners. That's my kind of party. But outside of that, being a festival girl, I looked at the casino like a perma festival. And so I love to bring the atmosphere of the festival to my clients and to my patrons and customers. I had a lot of fun doing that. That satisfied my nurturing aspect towards healing. And so I met this girl. Her name was Tuesday, and I really thought she was genuine, right? So while I was getting to know this girl, she was telling me about an instance where she really felt like she wished she had a conflict with I think one of her family members, and wished death upon them. I mean, I'm all like, okay. I'm all like, yeah, I'm sure that happens. But no, she really was like, I wish death on them. And then they ended up dying. So she really felt like that she had something to do with that. I'm all like, it doesn't work like that. Well, long story short, she really thought that she had that kind of pull within the 5D. And then it happened again to somebody else in her family. So she was feeling pretty torn up about that. But what happened was, she said some Satanists had found out that she did kill somebody through her, through the power of her aura. Let's just call it like that. And then I'm all like, what? And she said that they sought her out and they had found out about it. And they had solicited her to join their coven. I was like, how would they find out? I'm like, I don't get it. And then so she said she didn't join the coven at that time, is what she said. She always denied it. But what I found out was what worked for me, what helped, what sparked truth in my mind was I started listening to these tarot readers and on YouTube when I was initially against it, but I had a friend that brought my polarized feelings about paranormal ideas into balance, because I was very polarized. I'm like, you know what? No. So whenever I had began to see some of my stories, some of my experiences turn up in some of the tarot readers, I was like, I have to say this. It was some of the most, there's a word, I'm seem to not, acceptance of what happened to me, in the sense that healing. It brought a lot of healing. So whenever I was picking up parts of my life in some of the tarot readers, I was like, it was so healing. I'm all like, I couldn't have said anything better than what the tarot reader was relating. I'm all like, that was weird and very nice. And then it began to happen more often than not. And so I was like, oh, so tarot readers and mystics, I began to see the value of truth in it because of my experiences. So when I began to see some of my story turn up in some of the timelines of some of the readers, I began to understand that the presence of ethers is a very genuine existence in our three-dimensional world. And in the 5D world, just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. So it's kind of like the principle of, my mommy always said, no matter what you do, just because you do it in secrecy doesn't mean it's going to stay secret. My mama always said, sooner or later, the truth will always come out. So when you consider the ethers, it's like that's what the seers and mystics do, is that they tap into the ethers. And it's the presence of the ethers that actually had alerted this coven back in Washington to that girl Tuesday that I had met. So that was my answer whenever I was wondering, well, how could the coven know about it when they weren't even there? And so like, oh, it's the ethers. That's how they knew about it. So that's how the ethers came alive for me. And so the weird thing about it is, when I began to get tuned in to the particular mystics on YouTube that were speaking on my behalf of my story. Basically, when it comes to tarot readers, it's like this. Tarot readings is only supposed to confirm and validate what you already know. And so, just because you have some good tarot readers that are upright doesn't mean they're all upright. Because a lot of, there are parts of the demographic that use their gifts for wickedness. You know, like gaslighting, speaking up really loud so your target can hear you while you oppress them with your bullshit, you know? Not all mystics use their gifts for ethical awareness or ethical use. So whatever it is you come across, you are accountable for your information. So that's when you are responsible for your own discernment. We're supposed to be discerning people. Just because, somebody says X, Y, and Z doesn't necessarily mean it's true. But that's how I began to understand that the ethers is a true presence, that there are such things as mystics and seers, because honestly, I didn't believe in any of it. Psychic, sure, but I didn't give it much credit, especially since I was very polarized, and I was like against it for a long time, until I had some friends so-called friends enter into my life, and I began to expand my perspective from it being polarized, So, and here's the weird thing, is that I've been able to piece my case with the use of some of the mystics and seers from YouTube. So I would take my findings and post it on my Facebook account. And so it was like this. Some of the people that have been investigating my case had awakened to the presence of the ethers through my case. I know that. And so I kind of felt like I was growing somewhat parallel to other non-believers that were awakening to the authenticity that the ethers have the ability to bring into people's lives. So I'm all like, I know that while I'm awakening to the presence and the power of the ethers, by default, with me sharing it, the open-minded individuals that I've never met were learning what I was learning at the same time. So I comprehend the value of ethers from an objective awareness, and also understand how come the religiosity of some religions denounce it, denounce tarot and all of that, because their let's say the forefathers of those religions wanted to dumb down the masses and keep their lies hidden. So what a better way than to say that all tarot readers, all mystics, and all seers were evil. I'm like, that's how that comes into play. So if they can dumb you down from the inside out, then they're more likelier to keep their secret. And so, which comes into play with my case, because with me being gang stalked, I see it as the universe's way of introducing the adjuncts that we have from an unpolarized mindset about it, because it can be used for good. It could, the only demographic that is against it, as far as forefathers go, as far as the forebearers of whatever religion, they cock-blocked us from ourselves. They had instituted idealisms that serve their agenda, to keep the masses dumbed down, to keep the masses bamboozled. So I see it as a dirty playbook. What a good way to dumb down the masses and keep them controlled, and to hide their own secrets by telling everybody that everything that's of divination is satanic. I'm like, agreed, you have to go into it with a sense of knowledge to protect yourself. But to deny everybody access to it is to keep the occult leaders. So now that I have awakened to it, I have complete respect to others who still see it as a demonic presence. But honestly, the fact that if people think that it's solely a demonic presence, they're being tooled. I'm like, yeah, the ethers, that's a pretty big nuance that can bring down an establishment simply by sharing of information. So I see my case as quite the trailblazer to help everybody come to a more objective notion and an objective opinion about the ethers. And if you're not about it, that's cool. Just don't go hating everybody who is a part of it. And if you think they're demonic for doing that, well, you have that right, but stay out of their business. Because if you're like putting your butt in somebody else's business, isn't that demonic in of itself? When you should just mind your own goddamn business and go on about your own fucking way? What does the Bible say about that? And then it's kind of like this too. The Bible actually says it has 3 prescriptions for dealing with the problem amongst people. Number 1, it says, talk to the person. And if that don't work, bring a witness, talk to the person. And if that doesn't work, well, then bring them before the church and talk to the person. And then if that doesn't work, well, then cast them out. And it's kind of like, you Christians, do you practice that? Instead of just go right to the gossip. I'm like, whatever. But that's how I came to associate the validity of the ethers for myself. And I know there are others out there that have been on that walk with me that I've never met, that I am completely unaware of in the 3D. So, but that's how I was able to see and discern for myself what's been going on with the flip side of the ambiguity of what was happening in my life that I was not privy to, of my own visual acknowledgement, let alone I have no way of knowing otherwise, which is another beauty about how well I've been surveyed, illegally or not, that these lovelies who have been interjecting my privacy with putting their heads in, dude, I'm one of the most well-documented chosen ones ever. I know that. So the fact that I'm able to pull up the information that I have through my own meditations and being guided on YouTube, that's groundbreaking. And just because you don't know about it at the time of this recording, which is November 13th, 2023, does not mean the world will not know it. So I'm like, it's kind of like this. What we have American Idol, which is really cool. Everybody got to see others become a rock star. What we have here with me is that the world's going to see my manifestations. And so I'm still manifesting, and I know it's there. Number 1, because I chose it. But number 2, when it was like I'd already understood my manifesting and where it will bring me, because I manifested that. But when I began to become alive towards understanding the presence and the power of the ethers, it just validated what I already knew. And when you understand components going on behind the scenes you may not have otherwise been cognizant of, you can navigate your life accordingly. And so I have. So I know what's there for me. And number one, I already placed it there. And number two, it's just a matter of time. So, which is another reason why I've been gang stalked really hard, is because there's a bunch of haters out there that's really trying very hard to thwart me from my own destiny. But it's too late. It's way too late. I'm already healed. I've already gotten into my own vibratory frequency that serves me. And it's just a matter of logistics before I'm able to wield this amazing power that I already have. Because these coven members are like, does she even know what kind of power she has? I'm like, bitch, I know. I know. I'm still working on it, but whatever. First comes knowledge, and with knowledge comes power, and the power is a work in progress. But since I am in service to the light and to the Most High, it'll come out whenever the Most High's timing deems it so. Until then, I'm just holding the faith and fighting the good fight. You know, and so at this time, I'm just speaking up and speaking out against the gang stalking to help it keep from burgeoning, and to help others from being folly to that, and to help the others that are participating in it to get out of it. So, yeah, you can't shut me up. You just cannot shut me up. I like to talk. I'm passionate about sharing what I've been through, to help a sister out, to help a brother out, even if you had, you know, fucking jabbed me in the fucking eye with the goddamn stick. I'm all like, did I feel better? Are you over that now? Are you ready to grow from that? Because I could help you out with that. I'm just whatever, you know? But at any rate, I just really feel that the ethers will become a household presence. Not that it isn't already, but it could be a presence that helps bring information where you wouldn't have had otherwise accessibility to. Because it's kind of like this. This is how the ethers, if you fart, the ethers can rat you out for that. And not only can it rat you out for you just farting, it could tell you whether or not you liked it. And it will rat you out about how you felt about that fart. For real. I know. It's like I live a life of celibacy, right? And man, because that's a topic for a different video, is the energy aspect that we have and how others can steal that. And so I'm all like, you know what? I the last dude that I, you know, gave it a go with, man, I'm all like, I can deal without the drama. But since I have a life of celibacy, you know, masturbation had been common practice for me because, hello, life of celibacy. But yeah, the ethers ratted me out for that. I was like, really? Oh my god. I thought it was so funny. But you know, we are growing and we are evolving. We're sloughing off the scales from our eyes, considering that we're in the Aquarian age of, you know, going from the 3D into the 5D. I didn't realize that until a couple days ago, how the Aquarian age of the shift really involves Earth becoming 3D to 5D. So that's what it's supposed to be about. And, well, the first line of business is everybody to become aware of the presence of the ethers and how it could be there to serve them from an upright position, but to be discerning about those mystics and seers that can plug into it, because not all of mystics and seers, just because you're aware of the 5D, is no indication of somebody's condition of soul. So I'm like, you can be tooled. That's why you're called to be discerning and to actually do your own soul searching and your own meditation and prayers too. Because that's how we get our discernment, you know. But at any rate, it's Patricia Ann Land in her galley. Chief Little Flower coming at you from a great place of privacy somewhere in the country, talking about the presence of ethers. And so, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'll tell you this. I know that I'll be going from rags to riches, and I'm in my state of I guess you could call it the 3D poverty, right? But I've never been in poverty because I've just been having a good time, and I've been learning and growing and using my experiences to chasten me instead of depress and oppress me. So, but I will say this, I consider these moments before I am on my throne with the, mad riches and everything, very special because when it comes into play, everything before that is going to be worth more than it will be worth more than its weight in gold. So that's another reason why I feel very driven to speak up and speak out about everything I've been through. And just because my ideations of my philosophies are different from yours doesn't make you insane because you don't think like me. And it shouldn't be because your ideas are different from mine shouldn't cause you to think I'm insane or crazy, But if it does, that's on you. Because you know what? If you want to sit down and go toe to toe with some IQ tests, I can run circles around most of these bitches. I'm fucking smart. It's true. It's so true. But when you meet me, most people don't realize it until they try to take advantage of me and run games, and they realize, oh shit. Yeah, it's like that. But mark my words, my story is serving the Most High, and it's going to be a story that's talked about for about 100 years from now. So wherever you are in life, I suggest that you get right with yourselves, because how you come into my story will immortalize you and your brood and your offspring for many generations to come. Don't make them take on your bad karma. Fix it for yourself now while you can, so your future great-great-grandchildren aren't busy trying to work off the bullshit you put on them. Because that's the thing. Anyways, peace out for now. Much love to my friends and even my haters. Bye-bye.